Avinash Rajpurohit works for an IT company in Bengaluru. He is dissatisfied with his job and his boss, and was forced into it by his father Prakash, whom he did not have a good relationship with, and who was unsupportive of Avinash's passion for photography. One night a travel agency calls him to inform him that his father has died in a bus accident while traveling Gangotri, and that the body will be dispatched to him. He takes delivery of a corpse and hands it over to his van driver friend Shaukat. As they are about to cremate it, they discover that it is the body of an old woman. Avinash is informed that the corpse with him is that of the mother of Tahira, a widow who lives in Kochi, and that Prakash's corpse and personal effects are with her. The two decide to travel to Kochi to exchange the corpses. Avinash and Shaukat set out when Tahira calls them, saying that her teenage daughter Tanya has gone incommunicado, possibly due to shock after hearing her grandmother's news. They go to Tanya's college in Ooty, where Avinash meets her trying to leave the hostel. Initially she is aloof and irritable, angering Shaukat, but he agrees to take her along. En route, they discover that along with the corpse is a box containing the personal effects of Ladha Nambiar of Kottayam, who was also killed in the accident, but are told there that Ladha's niece is getting married in Kumarakam. At the wedding, as Avinash and Tanya spent time with the groom, a gang of goons, which had been demanding payment from Shaukat for long, make off with his van. Avinash, Shaukat and Tanya, along with the wedding's aged Shahanai player, who impressed Shaukat, chase it but in vain. Shaukat and the Shahanai player are admitted to a hospital, where Shaukat falls in love with a young woman, but is dismayed to find that she is the Shahanai player's wife. Meanwhile, Avinash and Tanya spend time at an inn, but when Tanya picks up a pregnancy test at a chemist's, they start an argument over her morals and she leaves for the hospital. There they come across Avinash's doctor friend Raghu, who takes them to his home, where Avinash rekindles a long-lost friendship with Raghu's wife Rumana. The next day, at the police station, Avinash, Shaukat and Tanya find their van wrecked, but in its place is a new car. They go to the gang's hideout on the pretext of repaying their dues, but flee when the goons arrive. Later Shaukat shares with Avinash and Tanya his experiences of him and his mother being tortured by his late father, at which they all agree that their fathers' lives and deaths have caused them great suffering. The three reach Kochi where Tahira warmly welcomes them. That evening Avinash discovers in his father's diary that he actually wanted Avinash to retire from his job and take up photography full-time, but could not talk to him out of Avinash's resentment for him. At the prayer meet later that evening in memory of both Tahira's mother and Prakash, Tahira and Avinash make speeches for the two deceased people, who are then cremated. They spend the night at Tahira's, making merry with her friends and family. The next day Shaukat finds out that Tasneem, the Shahanai player's young wife, has been tortured by her aged husband. She asks to divorce him and Shaukat takes her along with the others back to Bengaluru. An inspired Avinash walks out of his job and starts a life of freedom with his new friends.